Hi everyone, my name is Shiza Chiranya, and in this video I'll be talking about one of my deepest passions, which is coding. So recently I learned a programming language called Processing JavaScript on Khan Academy, and I made many projects, 7 of which I'd like to show you all. So this video in particular is the first part of a two-part series where I'll be showcasing my Processing JavaScript projects. And today I'll be showing you 4 of the projects that I commenced my processing JavaScript journey with. So let's dive deep into it. So the 4 projects that I'll be talking about today are: number 1, a desk. The second one is a Bumblebee robot, in which I use coordinating movements and scaling, which I'll be talking about. The third one is a Pong Game, and the fourth one is the Mischievous Alien and its UFO. So let's get into the first project, which is a desk. So in this program, you can see my desk with some objects that I have on it, such as my Rubik's Cube, my water bottle, a cup of stationery, my laptop, my earphones, and a notebook. You can also see things that surround my desk, such as my bulletin board, a window, and my chair. So for this drawing, I used a variety of syntax to form it, such as circles, arcs, quads, rotation of these shapes, a bezier for the earphones that you see here, and various color and line syntax. I actually also used images internally stored in Khan Academy, which you can see here. And this really adds a cool effect to the drawing. If you think about it, this drawing actually reflects my personality, as I'm someone who loves playing sports, especially soccer. I love to listen to music, I love to code, and I love to solve the Rubik's Cube in my free time to continuously try to break my speed record. So that is my first project. And let's get into my second project, which is a Bumblebee robot. This is a program that can resize and scale this Bumblebee robot. So let me show you how it works. So we have these location variables, which are the X and the Y. So if you change this X coordinate, you can see that the Bumblebee actually moves left or right. And if you move the Y coordinate, you can see that it moves up and down. And the cool thing is that it moves in sync. So the entire robot is moving at the same time, all these shapes. So how I did this was that for every X and Y coordinate in the parameters of these functions that make up these shapes or these drawings, I linked the X and Y coordinates with offsets so that when it moves all in sync, as you saw. Another really cool feature is the chest size, and this is the main resizing variable. So if you change this, it actually changes the size of the entire Bumblebee robot. And how I did this is that for every single parameter, now this is every single parameter, what I do is that I size it with chest size so that when I change this value, the entire size of all the shapes changes as well. So this is a really cool robot, and I had such a great time making this. The third project I have is the Pong Game. So the Pong Game is by far one of my favorite games. It's a legendary game, and it's the first game I actually made with processing JavaScript. So the project actually uses some different syntax, like if statements, and it uses animation to make this game more fun to play for the user. So it's a two-player game, and how it works is that this right panel is controlled by the up and down arrow keys, and this is controlled by the shift and control keys. And also for Mac, it's also control and shift. So let me demonstrate how this works. Let me restart the game. So I'm moving my paddle, and then hopefully I touch it. Yep. And let's say I miss. That means that the opponent here has gotten 1 point and it's game over. So that's how the Pong game works. And that is my third project. So my fourth project is the Mischievous Alien and its UFO. So the last project we'll be looking into today is the Mischievous Alien and its UFO. Sounds intriguing, right? Let's get into it. So The purpose of this program is to fly the alien around space inside its UFO, specifically towards the moon, this is the Earth, Mars, and Saturn. So, with the left and right arrow keys, you can move your UFO right and left. So, let me actually restart this. Yeah. So, you can move it right or left, and you can also use the up and down arrow keys to move up and down. And when you do that, the UFO actually shrinks in size. So let's say we want to go to Earth. Okay, let's invade Earth. So let's go up. And basically, the objective of the program is to travel to one of the planets or the moon and press the spacebar in order to drop an asteroid from the UFO. So if you press the spacebar, it drops an asteroid. Boom. So this program is a combination of the Bumblebee because it also uses location variables and sizing variables, and it is also a combination of the Pong game because it does use if statements and an animation to make it more interactive for the user. One really unique thing I did here was with the stars, because here you can see that the stars are moving. And what I did here is that I had this continuous loop that randomly draws these stars, which are basically dots. So while the program is running, these dots are randomly being drawn again and again. And I really like the effect that it showed in the program. Well, that concludes the YouTube video. I hope you learned a lot about what processing JavaScript is really like and some of the projects that you can make with it too. So I'll be linking down the four projects that I talked about today, and feel free to try them out as well. Hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for part two of this series.